In this video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my journey into software development because I took sort of a weird path, I think. I didn't do a CS degree and I didn't do an internship at a FANG company. I would say that my approach was more of a brute force approach. So this all started in 2010. In 2010, I was working at a fruit shop and I had no idea what it is that I wanted to do with my career. So I decided to go to university and study psychology because why not? I mean, looking back now, it's sort of a silly thing to do. But I started studying psychology and I did two subjects and failed one. And I thought, this is not for me because to get into psychology, you have to have a grade that is above just the passing grade. And then you can do your honors degree. And then once you do your honors degree, you can do your residency or your in-clinic practice. And then you can become a psychologist. And this journey was like 8 years or something. And I decided that that's not for me. I'm going to switch my degree to a Bachelor of Information and Communication Technology. So basically, this is like a business degree plus IT. So we didn't really do that much programming. I did 2 Java courses. I did some database courses. I did some other weird course where they taught you XML and XSLT or something like that. But a lot of it was business. And I also did a minor in marketing. So while I was studying for this degree, I was also learning how to make websites on the side. And in learning how to make those websites, something that really caught my interest was SEO. So I was making these websites and I was trying to get them to rank in Google, and I was pretty good at it. I got some websites ranking for some pretty tough keywords. So then it was 2013 and I was browsing Gumtree and I saw a listing for a role that was near me for an SEO. So I applied for that role and I went in and I got the job and I started working as SEO. And part of this role was obviously working on their website. And because I was working on their website, I could get some experience with Drupal and PHP. And so the guy that I was working with, it was just me and one other guy, he was pretty experienced with Drupal and he knew his way around PHP. And then I also started teaching myself Ruby on Rails. And I made some projects with Ruby on Rails as well. And then it got to 2015 and I was graduating from university with my degree here and my minor degree. And then my now wife and I decided to move to London. So we decided to move to London because at the time my sister was living there, and why not, right? We were 25 and we just wanted some adventure. And this turned out to be one of the best moves that I've ever made or we've ever made. This was an incredible time. So when we got to London, we did a little bit of traveling around. And then in January 2016, I started applying for jobs. And I got a job offer for an SEO. And then on that same day, I went for an interview at a different company and got a job as a junior web developer. So before this, actually, I got offered a job as a PHP developer, but I didn't take that job because they wanted to pay me £19,000 a year. And then when I told them that that's not enough, they told me, well, you're fresh off the boat. And that's the literal words they used. So then a month later, I was still applying for jobs and I got these 2 job offers in one day. So I took this job as a junior web developer and they were using a CMS. And this was not like WordPress or Drupal or anything like that. It was like this custom made one by some company that was local. And I hated it. I really, really hated it. I thought it was the worst piece of software that I've ever worked with. It was terrible. It was poorly designed. It was written in a language called Cold Fusion, which I really hope you have no idea what that is. And yeah, it was just terrible. So the CMS was really limiting. And at the time I was working on the side with some Node projects and some PHP projects. and they really wanted some piece of software to do some survey capture and data visualization. And I thought, I can do this. I can do this in Node.js. And I told them, I said, let me write this thing that you want in Node, and then I'll deploy it. And I can even embed the UI into the CMS. And they let me do it. And we had to cater for Internet Explorer 7, and I couldn't get the cores to work with Internet Explorer 7. So I ended up just using WebSockets for all of the communication between the client, this CMS, and this Node.js server that I built. And it was also using a MongoDB instance. And the way that I deployed this was a DigitalOcean droplet. And then I just had everything running on this droplet. This droplet had the Node app and it had the MongoDB instance. So while working at this company, I managed to make a few different applications that were sort of custom Node.js applications. And I got a little bit lucky because one of the other guys that I worked with had left, and then my manager ended up getting pushed out of the company. And so all of a sudden I became the solo developer, and they gave me a chance to become a manager, and we hired 2 other people, and I also managed those 2 other people. So my job role went in this company here. I left in 2019. And I think I got a promotion every single year that I was there. So I went from junior web developer to web dev to, I think I went to senior web dev. And then I went to digital team manager. So I was there from 2016 to 2019 and had all 4 of these job titles. So because I had these job titles, in 2019, my wife and I decided to move back to Australia. And when we moved back to Australia, well, sort of before this, I had in my mind that I wanted to get a job as a software engineer. So I did a lot of study, and I studied a lot of topics like TypeScript. I studied data structures, sort of data structures and algorithms, just a little bit, not too much, to be honest. I got better at Mongo and various other technologies. I also learned a little bit more Node. And I did this study to prepare me for interviews. And then in October 2019, I ended up getting a job as a software engineer. And in my mind, this is when I made it. So I got this job at this company, and this company was awesome. I loved it. They used lots of different stuff. In fact, a lot of the things that I've taught on this channel are things that I've learned from this company. So we used lots of different cool stuff. So we had Node, we had Go, we had a microservices architecture. So I learned a lot about that. We had Mongo, we had Postgres, we had Kafka, we had Prometheus. The list could actually go on. We used a lot of different technologies at this company, and that was good for me because I managed to get my head around all of these different things and build systems using all of these things and inside of this microservices architecture. And then in 2024, I got the job that I have now. And yeah, that's it. That's my career so far. So I would say the lessons and the takeaways from this are, if you get a job that you don't necessarily like this one I got here in 2016 where we're using this CMS, you can sort of brute force this job to be what you want it to be, or at least learn the things that you want to be working with so you can then later get the job that you actually want. If you like this video, please make sure you leave a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section below what your path into software engineering was or what path you're planning on taking. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.